Hi everyone. In this video, I am going to talk about Ubiquiti, that UDB switch. So now which I am using in my home environment. So now here's the context, like I have a Ubiquiti home environment. So now currently I got this brother printer. So it was only able to do 2.4 gigahertz. So I really wanted to turn off my 2.4 in my home environment. In that way, I use this Ubiquiti switch just to connect this printer wired to that particular switch, and then backhaul that via the Wi-Fi connection. So now I have my access point in the level 2 and my printer in the downstairs. So now this is my sort of other testing environment. So now like a printer has a 100 meg kind of connectivity, that doesn't matter. So now I have some other sort of devices for testing. So now this is the sort of switch which we talked about. So now, even though it's appeared to be like a switch, so this is a wireless client as well. That's the advantage. So now in this particular testing, I have already plugged these devices in. So now I have plugged not my MacBook Pro, even I have a MacBook M2, but I use a Thunderbolt to 10 gig kind of adapter. In that way, currently that machine has been plugged into port number 1 here. So that way, now, compared to sort of my lab environment, I have upgraded this cable connection to direct attached cable. So those are providing a 10 gig connectivity. So now, right now, I have set up, this UAP3. So let me just show you that. So now unified access point number 3, you can see it's configured for 160 and 80 megahertz. Okay, in that way, that's the bandwidth I have set it up. So now my UDB switch is already mesh connectivity to UAP3. So in case of some problem with that, UDB should be able to establish connectivity to UAP1. So now if I show you the UDB switch, you can see it got around like a neg 53 kind of dBm RF SSI value across 6 gigahertz, and 5 gigahertz it got around neg 58 kind of dBm value. Now if I go to mcsindex.net, now like my channel width is 160 in 6 gigahertz. Now if you look at here, so if you are using a 160 megahertz with 2 special stream, you should be able to get 2.8, and with 80 megahertz 5 gigahertz you should be able to get 1.4 gig. Now here's the catch, that means roughly around 4.2 gigabits per second kind of value. So now right now you can see now I have not upgraded my access point here. I still have a U7 Pro. So that way I am limited by 2.5 gig. Okay. So this access point does not have a Ethernet port. So that way now what I'm going to show you in this particular quick test. So what kind of data rate I am getting across, this particular link. Okay. Technically data rate will be 4.2 gig but if they combine, but I don't have the capacity to do that. So in that way I am expecting maximum 2.5 data rate value. Okay, so now again that is with full efficiency. Now let's go ahead and do some testing. So now to test this one, I have my Windows computer, which is so now this is my Windows computer. You can see here. That's now this is the IP address of my MacBook in the other side. Okay, in that way now let me just show I have that set up as well. Now this is what a Teams sort of call or Zoom kind of call. I am monitoring that particular computer. So now if I want to do the speed test other way around, I can do. Probably let me just little bit of zooming that. Okay, now let's go ahead and do. Now in here I am from my Windows computer. I am doing a speed test running on this laptop. Okay, open speed test. That's what I am going to do right now. So now let me just go ahead and do the speed test. Now you can see I'm getting like a 2.2 gig or to around 2 gig kind of mark. That's the download speed. Okay. Now typically from the open speed test, upload maybe like not that great like download. That way probably you will see around 1.1 1.2 gig kind of mark. That I would say the limitation of this open speed test. We cannot really make like a full line rate, but I'll do some iPerf as well just to check that one. So now in here, if I do the other way around, now I am going to do the testing for my MacBook, and I'm using IP address of 233.242. You can see here, and I will do the speed test here. Now you can see upload direction, download direction. So now I would suspect that's an issue with this Windows machine here, but with the speed test. Or it could be some now that's a sort of a uploading from here. That means that's a download. Now the traffic point of view, that's uploading from this. That shows like a 2 gig kind of mark. But when we're doing a download testing, so downstream direction, it's showing like a 1.2 gig kind of mark. Okay. Now, so what we can do is, now you can see one direction pretty much like aligning like this, like a 2.2 gig. I'm very happy about because maximum I can get 2.5. I'm getting a 2.2 gig. Now in this direction I am getting like a. So now what I can do is like probably if I go to terminal window here. Now what I'm going to do is let's do a sort of iPerf 3 less acting as a server. So now this is acting as a server. Now if I go to here, so now what I'm going to do is now you can see this IP address other side is 0.160. So I want to make sure I'm just now let me just do the test. So you can see I'm getting 1.5 gig, 1.5 gig, 1.10 gig, around 1100 megabits per second. So that's pretty much aligning with what we saw in the open speed test as well. So that way, like now, like one direction you can see now here. So we pretty much got around 1.6, 1.06 or 1.1 time to time, around 1100 kind of. Okay, so now in that way, at least you saw I got around 1.1 gig kind of mark. Now let's do the other way around. Let's make this as a server, my Windows client, and let's the other side do the speed test. Okay, iPerf 3 as a client 192.168.233.242. That's my Windows machine IP. dash capital P8 dash T 30 second. You can see here, if you monitor, now you can see I'm getting like a 1.6 gig, 1.6 gig kind of mark, 1.6 gig, that's what I'm getting, 1600 kind of Mbps. Now 1.68, 1700 kind of mark. Yeah, now with the speed test here, I got around 1.6 kind of mark. So that's pretty much, like not exactly matching this, but it's tallying with that kind of result we got. Now I'm doing one more time just to make sure. So with that, I'm getting like a 2.3. Now upstream direction, I'm not getting more than 1.1 gig. Okay, that's similar to what we saw with that as well. Now again, even with like same basically experience we saw using iPerf as well. In that way, I'm not 100% sure where's the sort of a limitation is, because with iPerf and this speed test server both, I'm getting the same kind of result. Okay, so you can see here definitely this is matching. One particular direction having sort of so in that way, like one direction 5 gigahertz receive rate is low, transmit receive here 6 gigahertz looks okay. Okay, so now in that way, like now you saw basically at least like now the promising sign is like we are getting around like based on the result we did whenever we uploading from the Windows computer. That mean like a download traffic, that direction we have some even both iPerf and open speed test, we only got around 1.2 gig kind of mark one direction. But the other direction, when we're doing the upload testing, now let me just, now when we do the so upload testing from the my Mac computer, we almost get a 2.2. In here you can see 2.3 gig. In that way, upload direction, I can see the 2.3 gig. Now this client point of view, upstream looks better. That means 1.2. Yeah, upstream looks better, but downstream you can see. But anyway, here it is not very clearly says, so this particular session, this may be not up to date that quickly. But again, like I saw this particular value for a long period of time. In that way, I'm not 100% sure these values are absolute accurate. Now the power level point of view, my upstream AP, now you can see here I have 5 gigahertz powered like 14 dBm and 6 gigahertz powered 17 dBm. Okay, it's look like a 6 dBi antenna, but on the client point of view, this has a 8 dBi antenna. In that way, so you can see client is basically like they basically, I don't think I can configure power level of this radio. I don't think that's been given. I cannot really configure power level for the client radio. they may be operating the maximum level. In that way, client power level, like bit higher range. So you can see here 23 dBm, 6 gigahertz, went to 16 dBi with 8 dBi, 24 dBm. This one bit more like a, I think like they may be, yeah, bit excessive, but that's what the client operating. So in that way, now just to before finishing off, let me show you the spectrum while this kind of testing happening. In that way, this is definitely using both band. So let me get my Ekahau spectrum analysis. Let's put it to 10 minutes. So now where the sort of our access points are. Now if you look at, anyway, now let me just go here and show you. Channel numbers are channel 37, 160 megahertz, channel 52, 80 megahertz. Okay. So now this is channel 37, 6 gigahertz. This is 160 megahertz here. Okay, 8 channel bonded together, and 5 gigahertz, channel 52, 80 megahertz. Now let's go ahead and do a speed test while we monitoring. Now you can see here their traffic using 6 gigahertz and 5 gigahertz both. Okay, 5 gigahertz and 6 gigahertz both. They're using. Now upload traffic, 6 gigahertz definitely being used. 5 gigahertz also being used. Okay, so that way upload, download both. It's a multilink, multi-radio, simultaneous transmit and receive. So now same thing, like even if I show you in the team call that side of traffic, let me just do that. Same thing other way around, traffic originating from my MacBook there. So you can see traffic is going across both link. So now one direction traffic is almost hitting the 2 gig plus. So now that is sort of like a promising sound, like why? Because now when we do this test next time, you will definitely, like now I will get this at least one single AP, I would get upgraded and I'll probably get a 10 gig capable switch, Ubiquiti point of view, and get that bottleneck out of the way. In that way, now I would expect, like at least, like a maximum bandwidth point of view, like you can, like double this bandwidth, but like that's for testing point of view. Even though the real production environment you may not be able to do it, I really would like to see. In that way, now theoretically we can go up to 8 point, like almost like a 8.5 or 8.6 gigabits per second line data rate. But even if I get a 50% of that, like 4 gig plus, that's a really good achievement. In that way, now stay tuned for the next testing. Probably it may be a couple of weeks time, because I don't think I can get this hardware that quick. I'll basically plan for that upgrade one of this to 10 gig and get a clear path of 10 gig and see how much throughput you can get from this particular device. So I hope video is useful. So now if you haven't really like heard about this Ubiquiti switch, like I would say, like go and basically search. Probably you will get, if you search Unify UDB switch, I'll add that to the video link as well, description as well. So if you look at here, you can see it has a 110 gig port. That's where my MacBook is currently connected, and other devices plug into those other ports. So now it's connecting 10 gig, all other ports are 2.5 M gig. So now that's sort of a very powerful kind of client, and I'm not testing the maximum capability. I have bandwidth 160 and 80 megahertz. So now, we are getting half of this line data rate point of, I'll do the final test in the next time, and then that time I will do some packet captures and do some deep dive. But in this particular one, I just want to show you, what has happened so far. So I'm getting like a step kind of upgrade. I'm, really keen to further enhance. At least I'm happy. Now no longer 2.4. You can see in my network, I simply turn off 2.4. So there are no more 2.4 in my network. You can see, at least Ubiquiti point of view, I have turned off 2.4. So this printer was the device. I don't want to throw the printer away as well. That way I'm happy I found a solution through this UDB switch. Okay, stay tuned for the next one. I will get 10 gig testing in that episode.